About a week ago, Eric and I went to a Thai Japanese restaurant. I ordered the chicken Panang Curry that you see here. I was disappointed with it for a few reasons. One, it was swimming in a coconut sauce, which is fine, but there's a lot of calories in that, and it just didn't have a lot of flavor. It wasn't punchy, bright flavor that I'm used to in penning. And I feel like if I'm going to eat all those calories, I want it to be memorable. I want it to be really tasty. So I'm going to fix that today. Eric has 4 friends coming over for lunch, so we're making lunch for 6. I'm going to make, at his request, chicken Panang Curry. I have a can of coconut milk. This is full fat. Never use reduced fat coconut milk. I have a can of Panang Curry paste. I'll talk more about panning the ready-made paste in a little bit. I have, as you see, I got some broccoli that was on sale. Usually, this came from Walmart. When you see the vegetables go on sale, they're usually like on their last legs. Like, it's still fresh, it's still in good condition, but this will be the last day that it's in good condition. So I plan to use it today anyway, and so let's go ahead and save that 39 cents. Why not? I'm using an entire onion. I'm using a red onion. You could totally use white or yellow, what you have. I think red onion goes better here. I'm using a couple of cubanelles, which are slightly spicy. I have matchstick carrots. I have a bell pepper. You could use really what you have. I've definitely seen Thai people use like zucchini and squash in here. So just empty out your fridge of your veg. I'm going to just use the cilantro just as a little garnish. And I'm also going to use the cucumber, some slices as a garnish. Now, I don't know how traditional this is. I don't think it is. But I like to use a little bit of lime juice. It's kind of traditional. I like to use a little lime zest, I should say. I like to use lime zest over my meal because it just gives it a nice bright fresh flavor. I know this bag says teriyaki. I think the other bag says pizza. That's what I had planned to use it with. Whenever I buy meats, I divide them up as soon as as soon as I can when I walk in the door of my kitchen. I divide it up and I've already meal planned. I said, okay, I'm going to make this and that. But Eric asked for the penang today, so brought that out. Okay, so for our sauce, we're also going to need some tamarind concentrate, some fish sauce. Now this is optional. It's not really so traditional, but I like to add a dash of soy sauce. Really just a dash. So it won't make that much of a difference if you don't use it. Try to use the Chinese one, not the Japanese. There is a big difference in those soy sauces. And this is very optional. Worcestershire sauce, that's going to add like a sweet tanginess to it, which you are already getting that from the tamarind paste. I like to use black pepper. I'm also using coconut oil. And if you didn't have coconut oil, you can absolutely just use any neutral oil like vegetable oil or canola oil. And I'll tell you why I'm doing my thing a different way. I can't remember why I held that up to the camera for you to see. But yeah, this isn't the most traditional way. This is a very healthy way. However, it's going to be lower in calories. Okay, so I've put a couple of teaspoons of oil here into my pan. I do like coconut oil for this. Oh, you see my Isla Morada beer? Eric and I were sharing a beer. Okay, so I've thrown in my chicken. I put no salt on this. I really feel you will not need salt because you're going to have a lot of salt in the sauce that it soaks in. But I did top it with quite a bit of freshly ground black pepper. The heat here is on high. Our goal is not to cook the chicken. It's to brown it and sear it and give it a little flavor. It's finally going to cook more later in the sauce. So we don't really have to worry about cooking it all the way through. Just getting it browned. Okay, now I'm fishing it out of the oil. I want the chicken to come out and I want the oil to mostly stay. I have reduced my heat to medium. And I'm going to throw in my onions and get those sauteed and softened. As you saw, heat is on medium. Okay, I'm going in with my peppers. That's my bell pepper and Cubanelle peppers. Notice everything is very bite-sized. I will say, to me, that was another mistake that the restaurant made. Traditionally, Thai food is more bite-sized just because people are eating it with chopsticks, and it's awkward to eat things with chopsticks if they're not bite-sized. In Thailand, people don't traditionally eat with fork and knife. So as you can see, the way that the restaurant served it to me, a fork and knife really would have been required. Not that I can eat with chopsticks. I can't. Even though I lived in Thailand for 2 years, I still can't eat with chopsticks. But I like things bite-sized. So now I've added my matchstick carrots and my broccoli. I really cut up the broccoli pretty fine, pretty small dice as you see here. Much smaller than the restaurant did it, if you were to go back and look at that. Their carrots, the pieces were just really big. This is going to enable me to not really have to cook this and to eat it closer to the raw stage where all the vitamins are in this. Okay, I turned my heat down to just a little below medium. All right, I'm just going to pour in the very top of the coconut oil. Because my coconut oil can remained undisturbed for like a couple hours, all of the fattiest part of the coconut oil got to rise to the top of the can. And so when I carefully opened it and I poured out that fattiest part of the coconut milk, which rose to the top, it's going to act as a fat that will help cook my, I don't know what happened where I went off camera, but it's going to help, oh, I'm taking you all around. It's going to help me to cook my Panang paste. Now, you can make your own paste. I've definitely seen people do it on YouTube. I've even had American people tell me, oh, that's not the most authentic way. Well, the truth is that if making your own paste and harvesting your own galangal is your thing, go ahead and do it. But you know what? If it means that you're so tired and exhausted and you spent so much time and effort and money and this and that to make that one dish that you don't end up cooking for the rest of the week, how did that really serve you? If I had made my own paste, this dish would be 100%. I would say with using a store-bought paste, I'm getting like 80 to 85% of the taste that I like. I can live with that arrangement. So as you can see, I poured in my entire can of paste, and then I let it saute until the oil started to separate. That's going to help us get some good flavor out of our paste. And after it had a good minute or so to saute, I poured in all the rest of my my coconut milk, excuse me, all the rest of the can of my coconut milk. Oh, I think I started on we started on our second beer there. All right, so I'm just letting my, as you can see, it's a little bit below medium heat. I'm letting my sauce heat up and do its thing. You can see as I drag my spatula through the sauce, it's really thick. You can see as I drag it, I can see the bottom of the pan. That tells us this is getting thick. All right, so I'm going to throw in a couple dashes of soy sauce. I'm going in with just a dash of fish sauce. Remember here, you can always add more. You can't take away. I do like a little bit of Worcestershire for tanginess and sweetness. That's the same thing that the tamarind is going to do for us. So if you didn't have Worcestershire, that's fine. I do happen to think Worcestershire is a staple to a well-rounded kitchen pantry. So it's, you can get it typically for under $2 if you buy a store brand. So I also went in with, I think I forgot to say that, I'm sorry, a little bit of brown sugar. I think I put in about a teaspoon of brown sugar. All right, that I just kept tasting until I liked the way my sauce tasted. We're looking for a balance of sweet, salty, umami, sour. That's what Panang tastes like. All right, once I had what I wanted, I just dumped in my vegetables. It is and my chicken. It is traditional to eat this with rice. I'm not going for rice. I wanted noodles, so um, I'm pouring in some of my egg noodle hot water. It's very starchy. It's going to help thicken my sauce without adding more calories. I really hope that you will consider authenticity. We're just going in with a little bit of lime zest here over the top. I saved a few of the pieces of the matchstick carrots also to garnish over the top. I really hope that you will consider, yes, consider authenticity. That's great, but try to find ways that are easy, almost like kind of semi-fast food ways that you can cook at home without feeling like you have to do it exactly the grandma way. Like I said, if you want to harvest your own galangal and lemongrass, that's great. But if doing that makes cooking less accessible to you on a daily basis, it's not going to be sustainable. I have absolutely made my own chicken stock and broth. I've absolutely made my own curry pastes. Usually, I find that the effort is not quite worth the extra time. There are some exceptions. So I really hope that you will consider making this at home. I saved a lot of calories. I got a lot more veg into my man's diet. And also, it cost like a quarter of what that restaurant cost. And that restaurant is a really good cafeteria style deal. And we still spent like a quarter of what we would have spent at that restaurant. So I hope you enjoyed this Panang curry. There's a million different ways to cook. You don't always have to go the authentic way. As you see, mine wasn't swimming in a sauce. It had some sauce. Trying to watch our waistlines over here. So if you like it, even if you try it, please let me know.